Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We have part 3 of my Aion leveling guide for the Elyos side, gladiator level 1 through 10. We're going to jump right back in where we left off before. We're going to be killing some elder sparkies for these Oz prayer beads, I believe. And yeah, we're going to knock that out real quick. Usually if you hang around this area, you can get the quest done really fast. If there's a lot of other people around, you could do your other quests in between it. And just kill the couple that respawn as you enter and exit the little area here. You gotta kill a few big bosses. Now there's a couple mobs with the same skin here. You're gonna want to watch out for the Tersan outlaws, because you don't need to kill them. So just keep an eye on that. I think while I go and kill things here, I'm gonna go ahead and explain a few more things about the game in general, just to give an idea. Let's see. As with most MMOs, there's legions in the game, which would be the equivalent to a guild. You can create a guild and have a guild bank. It'll start you with 3 rows, I believe 6 rows, or 6 slots across, something of the sort. You get some inventory space, basically. It's the equivalent of your inventory cube without expanding for a guild warehouse. Anyway, as soon as you join a guild, you'll see a magical cloak appear on your character, just almost out of nowhere. It's pretty awesome. There you'll have a, I don't know, it's kind of a standard symbol on it. It's cool looking, but you don't actually get to edit it until you level up the guild itself, which requires multiple people and dropping a little over 1 million kina into it, some of the sort. But mentioning the expansions, there's bag expansions and warehouse expansions, and you have to go to the I want to say they're cube inventory specialists, something of the sort, in the major cities. You'll find them in the Temple of Gold, I believe it is, in Pandemonium, which is the main city you go to after you ascend. There is also one of the little squirrel guys in the very first town here in this zone, which I've actually already expanded at back in the first video. So, anyway. One thing I was excited to see is there is actually an auction house in the game. So there is some money play. I know there's this very specific crowd for MMOs that just like hopping on a game and really controlling the market and making money and things of the sort. You can do that in this game. And the awesome part about it is, let's be honest, there's a really awesome profession system. It seems really easy, because you can actually level a profession technically without ever leaving the main city. And how you do so is you work off of things called work orders, which they basically say, here's the main material, just buy the off components here, and then make the thing that I need to fill the work order, and you turn it in for, you know, free extra components, and then you get skill ups off actually making the items. It's a really cool feature, but you can also make a bunch of kina back just on crafting usable gear, because people, you play the consumer market, people need the gear, so it's really easy to actually make all your money back and then some. But anyway, yeah, I went through all the effort of actually gathering iron, or plants, in order to gather iron for this quest tournament, but it's all the way up in the northwest corner, and I'm actually going to end up skipping that. The last campaign quest is there, and you will receive a title for doing the last campaign quest of an entire zone, which is always something good to keep in mind. Usually you'll get a good piece of loot out of it too. I believe your first piece of loot from the end of this campaign is a headpiece, actually. But for the sake of ascending faster, I'm going to be skipping that section, because it's actually unnecessary. As soon as you hit level 9, you're going to basically want to immediately ascend, because any experience gained afterwards is pretty much a waste. I'm pretty sure it doesn't carry over, meaning your Ascension quest gives you exactly enough for a level, and upon completion it puts you 1 experience away from leveling until you hit the main city and actually choose your secondary class. So it's best to ascend as fast as you can, basically, and then if you're a completionist and you want that title and or helm, come back here after you've already picked your subclass and finish it up then. That way you're not, doing something for nothing, basically. You'll notice there's a lot of people that are, level 10 and up through this zone from this little spot I'm at. They come back all the time. They ascend and they come back, so
I am a faithful servant.
I'm just under the impression that that's the best choice to do. Alright. Gonna go back to the cauldron real quick, dump the polluted water. Ayo. One of the cool features about this game is the actual PvP. It's one of the big crutches, like, I would call it a crutch, I don't know what to call it. It's a big selling point of the game, because there's portals that open up due to the storyline, and they open up randomly throughout zones after you hit level 20. It starts in, like, Warheim, I believe it is. But you can go into these portals and, fight other players and NPCs. Thing is, once you die, you can't go back into the Abyss for, a set amount of time. But while you're in there, you're gaining Abyss points, which is basically another form of currency. And you could buy, certain level bracket gear with it, and it's really good to get. So, I might actually end up posting a video on it, just checking out the Abyss. I'll probably have some instance footage too, but that'll be at a later date. As I was mentioning the helms earlier, as far as the questing, helms in this game aren't actually considered to have an armor class. They do contain stats that would be of that class. Like, if you look at an item, it looks like it's a piece of cloth, or it looks like plate. Yeah, it has stats that would be, the equivalent of it actually being plate, or cloth, or leather. But anyone can use it. So, I think it's a really unique aspect in the sense that it's kind of a way for people to round out their stats as they need it. I haven't seen a use for it yet, but there might be a point where a warrior, say, needs more evasion and maybe more magic resist, so he can, throw a leather helmet on, sacrifice a little bit of that defense. I like it. It's a pretty cool aspect. But anyway, we're gonna go here. I believe we're starting the Ascension. The very first part of the Ascension is probably it's the only tedious part, actually. You go back out to the lake where you'll recognize from the first video. You fill a bottle of water up, and then we're gonna go right back to Pernos here. So, no skin off my back, but just a little bit of travel time. You want to just run out to the edge of this island here. If you look at your map, you got a really faint circle lit up where you can actually use it. You can't actually use it in the main lake. Actually, I forgot about the step of actually going to Namrel. I always forget this step. You have to talk to the tree that's in between point A and B. So, you're gonna go there real quick. You have to get his essence. It makes sense. He made you see some visions earlier. He's gonna make you see some funny stuff now, right? Actually, he's gonna cry apples. I don't know about you, but I've been looking all my life for a tree that cries apples. So, my life is fulfilled. Anyway, we're gonna go back to Pernos now, and I'm gonna get to show you the ease of Ascension. Finally get to pick the subclass.
I am but a faithful servant.
Which will be one of two. It'll be Gladiator and Templar. So, I'm gonna go with Templar this time because all my other warriors are Gladiators. Not that I don't like them. I love my Gladiators. But anyway, I digress. Knock these guys over real quick. We got a scene coming up here, so I'm gonna kind of hush up for a second while it goes. Just let you enjoy it. Talk about getting owned, right? Anyway, now we finally get to pick our class here, Pernos. It kind of describes all of them for you. He's like, hey, Templar does this, Gladiator does this, pick one. And you instantly get teleported back to Pernos. This is another cool feature that they have is it allows you to stay here if you want to, just to finish the quest, but you can come back at any point if you just teleport, so we're going to go straight to the town and finish this Ascension here. As a partial demonstration of all the customization you can actually get a character that looks like her, which kind of plays on the anime aspect. I mean, I made a elven dwarf looking guy, and here you have anime characters, so the customization of this game is really awesome. I like it a lot. I could probably spend hours making characters alone, so do it. Every one of the main cities is pretty large, so I'm gonna go ahead and bind here. We're gonna get to see another really cool scene here in just a second, so I'm going to shut the mouth again.
Carry on, my friend. Today you ascend from humble roots. May those roots not be forgotten. As the light of Aion leads you to your destiny.
I will not forget those roots. For the beginning of a game, much less an MMO at that,
Yes.
this was pretty freaking epic, and it made me feel like I beat the game after 10 levels, so you can only imagine what's left to come.
Yes, speak up.
Music's really awesome.
Take care. Yes, speak up.
Anyway, I'm gonna have more videos of this stuff coming out, you know, with a little bit of time, so for now, I believe this is going to wrap up my 3-part series. As you can see, I'm just, you know, looking at all new abilities. Ooh, shiny. Anyway, guys and girls, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends, and, yeah. If you like Aion, definitely check the game out. So, I don't know if you want to stick around, but I got a little bit of dwarf bad dancing coming up. Anyway, guys and girls, this is Bolg out.